Hi there, hello! Are you the world's #1 Ducati superfan? If so, here's the game for you. However, if you're merely a fan of driving games or motorcycle racing games, you may want to look elsewhere. May I suggest Excitebike? That's a great game with motorcycles. Grand Theft Auto Vice City was also pretty good. Riding them through the shopping mall with a katana sword, oh, that never gets old. You know what also never gets old? Time trials. I love them. When I want to just pick up a game and play it and find out that I have to drive through 3 hours of time trials, nothing could make me happier. Except not having to do that. You got the license. You know what? I paid for the game. It should just come with all of the licenses. What a stupid concept. This is Ducati World Racing Challenge for the Sega Dreamcast, released in 2001. It's not that this game is unplayable, it's just that there's better games that you could be playing. Even in 2001, when this was released, Ducati World was not one of the premier Sega Dreamcast racing titles. Ferrari F355 Challenge took this game, handed it its own ass, and then fed it to Seaman, also on the Dreamcast. Ferrari did not have motorcycles, but the Moto GP series is about 1,000 times better than this game. I find it believable when your character in a video game blinks, but when the bike blinks with him, that's just ridiculous. Have him blink independently of the motorcycle. Besides, that bike should have exploded. Hey, balloons, the motorcycles of the sky. But let's take a look at it, because for better or worse, Ducati World might cost you upwards of $2 or $3 if you'd like to play it for your Sega Dreamcast. It's pretty standard and follows the earlier Gran Turismo style. You compete in a number of license tests, open up your licenses, which then unlock various races that you can compete in. You buy motorcycles, modify them, you can even... Whoa! He's sliding the wrong way. Alright, I like that they fly off the motorcycle in this game. That's something that was sorely missing from Test Drive Unlimited. When you hit somebody doing 200 miles an hour and they just stayed on the bike, that irritated me just about as much as when you blink on your bike. Visually, the game is obviously very dated and the music sucks no matter what year it is. The problem with this game is that the controls are awful. There's just very little passion in the controls. I'm trying to find a word to describe this. I could just say they're terrible, which they are. I mean, you accelerate with the right trigger on your Dreamcast controller, brake with the left one. But there's just very little middle ground when trying to lean left or right to steer. It's like either all or nothing. At no point does it ever feel like you have contact with the road. Flying the speeder bikes in Return of the Jedi running over Ewoks would have been more realistic. There's a game they should have made instead of this one. Star Wars Ewok Massacre. There's several different race courses in the game, and none of them feel terribly inspired, and even with the addition of some really cool classic motorcycles, the whole game has a very mediocre feel about it that pales in comparison to some other driving games on the Dreamcast, like Sega GT, or Tokyo Extreme Racer, which was awesome. I think my head was just on the pavement. Most racing games that have a motorcycle or car license attached to them are usually somewhat subpar compared to the really big series, like Moto GP or Gran Turismo, Forza. I imagine they just have smaller budgets, and I'm sure this one did back in the day. I really would not recommend this as one of those Dreamcast games that you have to run out and get. There's several Dreamcast games that you should run out and get, like Gigawing, Seaman, Shenmue, Tokyo Extreme Racer 1 and 2, and of course Ferrari F355 Challenge, which is by far the best driving game on the console. Even with the on-motorcycle cockpit view, it's just twitchy, it doesn't play all that well, and the bottom line is, it's really not all that much fun. But Classic Game Room, what if I want to play a motorcycle racing game on my Dreamcast? For the Dreamcast, well, you should be using your Dreamcast for shooters and fighting games and Sega arcade classics, not Ducati World. But if for some reason you feel the need to play Ducati World, just don't pay much for it.